Welcome back to Mom Talk. On this episode, Victoria is going to give us an update on her PAH. How do you prefer to say it?
I don't really have a preference.
Okay.
I mean,
I feel like I just say PH.
Yeah, the pulmonary hypertension.
Okay, she's giving us an
Arterial
update.
is a hard word to say.
I didn't even know what the A meant. I wasn't even going to try.
Yeah. Yeah, but I had a follow-up with the specialist. When was that? A few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I killed my 6-minute walk, which was my goal.
Yes, we talked about that, right? Like that was your goal.
That was my goal. So I increased my distance again and just borderline running.
I know. You have restrictions, right? Like you
Yeah.
can't pick up your feet. Like,
Yeah, it has to be a walk. You can't jog.
okay, no jogging.
So
If it was a jog, wow.
I'd be out there running.
Yeah.
But I think I've said this before. A 6-minute walk, if you don't know what it is, it's walking up and down a hallway for 6 minutes. And a nurse is watching you and like clocking your laps, like how fast you do a lap. And then at the end, they put a pulse ox on you to check, obviously, your oxygen and your heart, right? They ask you how out of breath you are on a certain scale. So I was a little out of breath, but anybody walking that pace for 6 minutes, I think would be.
Right.
But like barely out of breath. I could still talk and do whatever.
Did you have to do it with other people or do you get your own hallway?
So the first time I did it, I was alone. Nobody was in the hallway. The second time I did it, it was in the research building. Again, I was alone. Jarrett was just watching me. And then this last time was the first time somebody else was doing their 6-minute walk at the same time. Now, there's different levels to this condition. Like I've said before, she was on IV therapy, like permanent IV line. Like you could tell she had it on her. You could see the cord. So I felt bad.
Because you could obviously go faster than her.
Well, yeah. And we each had our own nurse. It's not like one nurse supervising all of it.
Okay.
So she had her own nurse, and my nurse was like, if you need to pass her, just do it.
I mean, I'm glad she told you that.
I mean, me too. But then I felt so lousy. I was like, man, I passed her like 3 or 4 times.
Right.
And I'm like, if I was in her shoes, would be just like, give up. I would stop walking.
Yes.
And so I felt bad. I'm like, man, I really wish we could do this like one at a time.
Right. Take turns.
Different hallway.
I feel
don't know.
like obviously this happens a lot. If she told you, you can go
like
around.
It must be pretty normal to have an overlap of at least 2 people.
Right.
Which makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a whole pulmonary clinic at Vandy. I just wish we had a different hallway maybe. I don't know. So I did feel bad about that, but I was super happy with my time still. I'm still thankful for my condition being how it is. But yeah, the doctor she was really happy with my walk time, my progress. She didn't want to change any of my medicines right now.
I feel like you were anxious leading up to this appointment because it had been a minute since you had gotten to see them.
Definitely anxious. And I think I've talked about, I have started having chest pain again. And chest pain was my first symptom when I knew something was wrong, but no diagnosis of anything. And so to me in my brain, oh, my chest pain's back. I must be getting worse.
Right.
And I have those thoughts and then try to talk the crazy out. I'm like, no, that's not true. You don't know that. You could have just overdone it. Hormones. Did you drink enough water? Like,
I know you go down the list.
Rationalizing with myself. And like, no, that's not what that means. So chest pain, chest pressure can be a normal part of this. And it's just going to be what it is for my life. But it's a hard one to override.
Right, when you're feeling like that.
When you have chest pain, yeah. Mm-hmm. That is a red flag for your brain, obviously. Yeah, I asked her about it. I was like, does this mean I'm progressing? Like, I'm getting worse? And she was like, no. She was like, she's like, I have plenty of patients tell me they have chest pain, coming, going, and they're very stable. She was like, it doesn't mean it's progressing. I was like, okay, well, it freaks me out.
Right.
And she was like, okay. She's like, we're going to go ahead and schedule another echocardiogram, which is an ultrasound of your heart. And I have that coming up mid-June. She's like, I don't think anything crazy's going on, but we'll get an echo. So
would she have done that anyway? Or she added it for your peace of mind?
She added it for my peace of mind.
Okay.
Also, I got diagnosed at Centennial, and my specialist is at Vandy. So she's never done a right heart cath on me, which is, the diagnostic test to confirm it. She has my results, obviously, and the only echo I've ever had done at Vandy was for research. So this is my first, clinic echo with her.
Okay.
So an echo can show an estimated pressure, the pressure they're looking for, and you want it under 20.
Okay.
This certain pressure needs to be under 20. And I can tell, obviously, if anything else is going on with your heart, too. If you've got, like, I have mild tricuspid regurgitation, which is, they act like no big deal. Nobody's even mentioned it. So I guess it's pretty common.
Okay.
And, or at least not problematic, doesn't need to be treated. So, yeah, she is doing the echo for, like, peace of mind, but also to get that estimated pressure. She has my right heart cath because I'll have to do that once a year.
Okay. This is not just a one-time follow-up.
I will be doing the right heart cath every year, once a year.
Okay.
If I'm having problems, it'll be every 6 months.
Okay.
If we have med changes to like anything subcutaneous or IV or anything dramatic like that, it could be even more frequent. But right now it's every year.
Okay. And how did you get yours last time? Because I know there's different ways to get it.
So they went in through like the inside of my elbow.
Okay.
So my arm last time, I don't
Is that
know.
pretty standard? Like that's where they go first?
I feel like most people go neck. Like from what I've seen in support groups and people I've talked to, they go through your neck a lot. But you can go through your neck, your arm, or your like groin.
Okay. So you don't know which way next time.
I don't know which way. That is happening in September. She said the 1 year mark. I was like, listen, the 1 year mark is in August and my husband's changing jobs. My son's starting kindergarten. Like I can't do August.
No, we can't. We cannot.
So it's in September. And if the echo showed anything funky, she can move up the heart cath.
Okay.
Because like my first echo showed this pressure at 83, which is severe when you want below 20.
When you want below 20.
And then the right heart cath showed 36.
Wow. They can vary that much.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's just like, not just like, but it's kind of like measuring a baby when they're in you on an ultrasound. Like,
It's their best guess.
yeah. So my first one was drastically different. So hopefully this echo shows a little more accurately.
Do you feel better after your last appointment?
I do. I think I'll feel better after the echo just because I have been having the chest pains still. Like nothing makes them go away.
And you want to make sure that it's not worsening, even though she said it's probably not.
Yeah.
Like that's what we need.
Honestly, I don't know what it'll take to feel better at this point. I mean, it's a lot of me making myself feel better and like just keeping the positive headspace.
Are you having other symptoms with the chest pains?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, I have a couple times where I can't breathe how I want to.
Like it's noticeable.
Like, and I wouldn't even call it shortness of breath. Like, I just can't take a deep breath. Like, you don't even think about taking deep breaths.
No.
And I never did either and I still don't until I like go to do it like subconsciously and it doesn't happen. And then I'm like, wait, what? I can't breathe.
Right.
How I want to breathe.
Yeah.
Like my body's trying to breathe a certain way and it won't.
Yeah.
So that's annoying. But
Do your chest pains stop you or prevent you from doing anything that you would normally do throughout the day? Or it's just like...
oh no.
Okay.
No. I think if it got to that point, I would probably go get checked out.
Okay.
They don't stop anything. They just literally drive me insane.
Yeah.
Because it's a constant mental battle. It's like, okay, chest pains are normal.
Right.
And I literally just like repeat that to myself in my head.
You have to have like a mantra.
Yeah, chest pains are normal. On repeat all day long sometimes. Waking up with them is hard.
Do they wake you up in the night or do you wake up and feel it?
I wake up and feel it.
Okay.
And sometimes in the middle of the night I'll feel them, but usually no.
Okay. Are you sleeping well?
I am actually sleeping a lot better.
Okay.
I've cut out caffeine pretty much completely. Mm-hmm. I mean,
Was that recommended or just you knew you wanted to do that?
I knew I wanted to do that. I feel like, I mean, I've had 3 heart surgeries before. I know caffeine's not great for your heart. Mm-hmm. I know I'm supposed to be tired. I know there's other ways to get energy. And honestly, going on my walks every day has given me more energy.
Yeah, you've added your walks.
I have been taking iron again because I was anemic again. So getting that back up, more energy. Mm-hmm. I think changing the way I eat and like lifestyle, I don't need the caffeine
Right.
as much. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still tired and I like coffee. So, but like decaf is still coffee.
That's good for me. I don't feel like I need a caffeine hit.
I could use one.
I'm like, maybe I do,
but no, caffeine seemed unnecessary to me, and I know
definitely something
it's
you
not
could cut out.
benefiting me. And so I cut it out. That was easy.
Okay, so sleeping good,
Doing
your walks.
I don't have another 6-minute walk till November now, so
Are you going to try to beat that one too?
I don't know how I can.
Right.
Like, she told me at my appointment, she's like, you're going to have to, like, Olympic style, like, fast walker situation to beat what you just did on distance.
But did you just really need to do it for the first time to know you could do it? Like, are you going to be okay next time if it's the same or even less?
No.
I already knew the answer to that.
No, it's going to have to be more. It's going to at least have to be the same.
Same.
Like, if I physically cannot do more without jogging, like,
right,
if this
then you want to
is
keep
how
it.
fast I can walk, I want to keep walking this fast.
Yeah.
But, it's summer, it's humid, it's hot, and that makes breathing harder for a lot of people with this. And
Have you noticed that?
no, I have not. But I do think that could be why I got diagnosed in summer last year.
Okay. Yeah, it was.
It was hot. It was humid. Everything got worse. So I don't know if summer goes on, if that'll happen, or if I'm medicated so it won't, or if I'll have good days and bad days. I don't know.
I mean, you're still outside out here with your kids
With my chest pain.
all day long.
Yeah, because I'm going to be doing my normal life.
What is your year date of getting the diagnosis?
August 16th.
Okay. I thought it was August.
Yeah.
Wow. How do you feel now that it's been this many months since your diagnosis? Like, can
Well-
you tell how far you've come?
Yeah, I think I can. I mean,
Mentally.
yeah.
I mean, I know you feel better too because you're on medication,
Yeah.
but
Mentally, I feel better. Everybody said to give it a year.
right.
So I'm not quite at that year mark yet, but I definitely feel so much better. Like, those first few, like, weeks and months, I was, like, not myself
No.
at all. And I was obsessive, and I was, like, all over the place. I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And once I was able to, like, not mind over matter, but mind over mind, and be like, no, we're going to be positive about this.
Right.
Because it was a lot of negative, like, internal thoughts.
Yeah.
And once I was able to shake those for good, I mean, I say for good, they still pop up. They're
Just
easier
not-
to push away now.
Right. I
But-
mean, you really dove into what can be good for me.
Yeah.
How can I help myself? I mean, I think that's huge nobody can do that for you.
No.
You have to dig
have-
deep and do that when you're ready.
Yeah.
And you really did.
I mean, I feel like even when I was going through it and having the negative thoughts, like, the negative thoughts, I'll just go ahead and say, like, when you Google it and it says you're dying in 1 to 3 years,
Yes.
it's hard to be optimistic, especially when there's no cure for this and it is progressive, and I have young kids.
Right.
And, like, sitting at Mason's kindergarten kickoff still triggered me. Even this far out, just sitting there and seeing class of 2037, and I'm like, am I going to be here in 2037?
Right.
Nobody knows the answer to that.
No.
Perfectly healthy people don't know the answer to that.
It's just been highlighted in your mind now.
Yes. And I think that's why I do things like Mason's big graduation party for preschool, is because I'm like, what if I don't get to throw him a high school one?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's still on my mind, but I think overall it is more positive. It's easier to push that away, but it does make me want to, like, celebrate the right now more.
I mean, I feel like this is what people say when you get a diagnosis or something bad happens. You can really focus in on everything that is important. These small things that people get mad about are just so unimportant.
Yeah. And I think, like, no matter, I'm going to use you for an example.
Okay.
You and I are super close. You and your mom are super close. You are in a hard spot right now. Me and your mom are putting you through it. But I think no matter how much you know and care and empathize, like, until you're put in a position where it is you who has the diagnosis, because you are excellent at putting yourself in other people's shoes.
I mean, I try, but I know I cannot feel how.
But until it's, like,
Yeah.
news given to you, like, I feel this way with Jared all the time. I'm like, the perspective shift, like, it's not something I can explain to
No.
you. It's not something I can make you feel. Like, it
We can only
is
worry from the
wild.
outside.
Yeah. And, like, not even just worry, but, like, finding little things. Like you said, I'm unbothered. I'm unbothered. It doesn't actually matter.
Right.
I mean, like, the inconveniences that people, like, whine about. I'm just like, really?
You're like, yeah, I can't breathe sometimes.
I know. And then I feel like a jerk because I'm like, wow, where's your empathy? This is their problem. They don't know.
Well, right.
Thank goodness.
When people have a problem, it is big to them.
Right.
So
I'm like, thank goodness, like, this is the biggest problem in your life. I am happy for you for that.
Yeah.
But wow.
I know. I mean, I know some of the stuff that goes on in your mind, but even when you like give me the inside glimpse of when Mason had to go to kindergarten kickoff and your thoughts, I'm like, oh, it just kills me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. But also, I think it is a gift in a way to be able to enjoy the time differently and not be so stressed. Don't get me wrong, I'm stressed. I'm an anxious person.
Right. But you've worked so hard to find all the positives. Like, I think you should sit in your feelings. I'm an advocate for that. I love being sad.
Okay.
But not too long.
Just a little.
Yeah. And then, this sounds so cliche, but literally an inspiration having to pull yourself out of this. Like, I can see it day to day.
Yeah, you definitely have to want to pull yourself out. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how you get the want.
I don't know either.
It's in there.
Yeah.
I think everybody has it in there.
Yeah. And I think some people just need longer to be upset or...
Yeah. And I took 12 weeks off work when I got diagnosed.
Yes.
Part of that was for medication reasons, but part of it was like I needed to be able to consistently pull myself.
Well, you couldn't think about anything else at that time.
I couldn't. I was it was all consuming.
Because at first when you told me that, I was like, what is she going to do? Like, she's used to coming to work every day. I feel like being at work could be an escape. Mm-hmm. But then after a couple days, I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
No wonder they say that.
Yeah.
You need downtime. And I feel like that's like with anything. People are just like trucking along when they really need some.
Take a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, feel the feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And then feel like maybe you have to feel all the way through the bad to get to the good.
Right.
And to get to the want and the push and the drive.
I mean, even you were like, I have to stop. I'm not going to be on my phone if I don't answer you because I have got to stop. Like,
no, I did. I had to for a while.
But like, that's some willpower too.
Yeah. I'm like, I can't keep, because I would like literally read a text and then I'd end up on Google down a rabbit hole about how I'm dying again.
Right. Right.
And I'm not dying. And I really do believe in the power of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that people who are sick and have bad outcomes don't try and don't have that drive. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Right.
I'm just saying I think the mind is powerful. And from the beginning, I'm going to set my mind on I'm going to be fine. This is going to be okay. And I've even set my mind or manifesting. I don't know what you want to call it, but there's going to be a cure for this in my lifetime.
I 100% agree with you, and it's going to be due to you. I mean, I've
just
already said that to you. I don't know if I said it on here, but
I don't know if I need any credit, but
you're part of the trials
research
and the research, and
Yeah.
I mean,
well, and I'm thankful for all the people who are, because it's not just me. There's a lot of people doing it.
yeah.
So
I just think that's amazing.
yeah, I mean, we all want to get better permanently, and currently the only cure, if you will, is a lung transplant, and that is not a viable option a lot of times. I mean, a lung transplant.
Right. Would they even put you on a list at this point?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Not at the point I'm at, no.
Okay.
But, like, in the support groups, one of the people who run it, she just had a double lung and heart transplant. She's 37.
Oh, wow. That's young.
But she's had this since she was 4.
That's so wild to me because I feel like originally when we talked about it, we were looking for people who had it for a long time so you could base your progress off of them.
Yeah.
But a 4-year-old?
Yeah.
That's wild.
So there are people in the support groups who are like, oh yeah, I've had this for 20 years, 30 years. There's one lady who's had it for 40 years.
Wow.
I'm like, wow, girl. There were no meds. You were supposed to be.
I mean.
And that's what I mean, though. Like, she did an interview and I read it and she was like, no, I just decided I was going to be okay. And here she is.
Here she is okay.
Here she is 40 years later, okay. I mean, she's in her 70s now. So I think no matter what, and I'm not saying it's easy and that I don't have days where I'm just like, I'm going to have a pity party.
As you should.
And it's not like I'm letting it build up. Just some days I'm like, wow, this really sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I always wanted to be a mom and have kids, and now here I am, like, I have chest pains and I'm out of breath and I'm tired.
Right.
This is
it
not how I envisioned having children.
Right.
Is it going to get worse? Is it going to progress and I can't do fun things with them as they get older? Because everything fun we're doing right now, they're so young they're not going to remember. I don't want me to progress as they get old enough to remember, and then all they remember is mom was so sick or mom couldn't do this and that. Like, I don't want to even have that much progression.
Right.
I want to have none. I want to stay stable, which I feel like I am.
I do too.
Well, the doctor said I was, so.
So we know.
I want to stay stable and low risk is what I'm categorized as right now.
Mm-hmm.
I want to stay that for at least their whole childhood. Like, I know it's a progressive disease, but honestly, again, back to I'm manifesting a cure at some point. So by the time my kids are 18, I could not have this. I don't know.
Yes.
Like 2 new medicines just got approved in March for this condition. They're brand new.
Is one of them a reversal?
So one of them has shown signs of reversal in like 83% of people.
Okay.
I am not
A candidate?
a candidate at this point. I'm not bad enough for it. And they haven't studied it in people this mild. They don't know if it would do any reversal.
Okay.
So yeah, the meds I'm on are standard like gold care combo for my functional class is what they call it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 for functional class. I'm a functional class 1 because I can do anything I want to do. Like, I'm even jogging like with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I might have some chest pain, but I'm still going to jog.
Yeah. I mean, you're out here getting it.
And I mean, when I asked my doctor, I was like, do I have limitations? She's like, I don't know, do you?
Okay, so if
And
there
I like
were
that-
any, you'd be setting them yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like that attitude from a doctor too, like that perspective of like, I don't know, do you?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, you're in your body, you know it. She was like, I mean, if you want to do something, do it. And if you feel like you're going to pass out, sit down before you do.
Have you had anything happen like that?
No.
Okay.
No. Sometimes on a walk, I'll be like, I need it 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't happen very often.
I need a second. So,
Like getting up my street specifically, like at that stop, so I'm like, whoo.
Yeah.
But I'm good.
okay.
So yeah. Next thing is the echo. Hopefully that comes back good. I'm hoping it does. That's the thing though. I just want the chest pain to go away.
Right. And
But
it may not. So that's the
It
problem.
may not. And I'm like, an echo being good doesn't make the chest pain stop.
So really September is your
September for the heart cath. We'll see about that. But also, like I said, I am a little anemic right now, and that can cause chest pains.
So you
So
got
I'm wondering if that's kind of like why they came back. So once I get that balanced out, maybe the chest pains will stop. Because they're not all day. They're not every day. They're just annoying when they're here.
But you started back your iron.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see. Hopefully, after my echo and I talk about that, I won't be having chest pains at all.
Yes, that's my goal.
A few more weeks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I feel like that's a good update.
It is a good update. And I think people just, still just listen to your body. Take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of,
Speaking of.
I am going to go get a colonoscopy
Yeah.
now that we've got the family history. And I wondered if it was going to be any type of issue because I don't think the starting age is until 45. I'll be 40 in December. But I emailed my doctor. She was like, oh, no problem. Let me get your referral. Went to that appointment. No problem. Got me on the books. They could have done it in 2 weeks. And I was like, whoa.
Hold on.
I just need a little more mental prep for that. So that's at the end of June.
Okay.
So we'll get that taken care of. And
you've never had one.
no, I've never had a colonoscopy.
I've had 2 and I'm only 30.
Okay, she asked me if I knew about it. And I'm like, well, my best friend's out here getting them
And
all the
I
time.
told you everything.
Yep. And then with mom just having one, I'm like, I feel like
Prepared.
I'm ready.
Well, you told me everything about a C-section. So
Oh, yeah. So only fair.
you're covered.
Yeah, I know everything.
How often did they give you any idea how often will you have to have a colonoscopy? Like if this comes back good, which I'm assuming it will.
She said every 5 still with a family
Okay.
history, which is exactly what they told mom too. Like,
Okay. Are you good with that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I heard her say that and I was like,
Interesting.
interesting.
But I'm sure like if you had a symptom or a sign, but your mom had nothing.
Right. I mean, technically, with
She was anemic.
yes, And they treated all of that, but it just took a minute to get to the actual problem, all the steps you have to go through.
Right.
So, I mean, it'll definitely be on my radar if anything crazy, but I don't know how all the insurance stuff works. I'm pretty sure Mom said they will not do a colonoscopy unless you have insurance, which I do, but I don't know if they'll order one for me in 2 years just because I want to.
Right. I mean, I could see that.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, this is first thing on my list. I'm doing it, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
But yes, no signs or symptoms. I'm feeling
You feel fine. This is purely preventative.
right.
Just, I mean, you were going to do it at 45 anyway.
Right. So just bump me down some years and get started now.
You'll just get a few extra in your life.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
And I'm also like Victoria Victoria really does eat good. I am trying to switch my diet. Anybody that knows me knows how horrible I eat, like literally horrible.
I know we joke with your picky eater videos on Instagram. If y'all haven't seen them, you need to scroll back and watch them. But I'm going to start giving you normal foods. Like, I've been giving you weird foods, and I'm trying too hard because I could literally just give you a random, like, normal food.
No, you could give me a strawberry or tomato. You don't have to try too hard.
Okay, well, I'm right. I'm going to make a list. I don't need a green olive stuff with garlic.
I will never do that again.
I know.
That was so bad. But yeah, I'm really trying to do better on that. And
That's hard when you're picky.
I know. I think
You can do it.
I think it's so weird how some people are just so picky and some people aren't. I mean, my grandmother raised all of us on fruits and vegetables. Like
here
from
you
the
are.
garden, fruits and vegetables.
And what happened to you?
What did? I don't know. I got to get back to the basics.
But, okay, you're picky, but you have no problem re-eating the same things.
No, actually, once I get stuck on something, I'm on it for a while.
Yeah, like we went to a nutritionist one time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like a dream come true for you because she told you what to eat for every meal.
That's what I need.
Gave you exact
Amounts.
amounts.
A schedule.
Brands, like all of it. You told her you don't eat anything and she said, here's a list of food.
She still found me something. Yeah,
Maybe you should do that again.
maybe. I still have that list.
I'll just whip it out.
Yeah, I'm going to pull that back out.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our health updates. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our channel on YouTube and Spotify and Apple. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Thanks.
Bye.